This is Arunava Chaudhuri and you are on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot. This last weekend hasn't been the best one for Indian football at international level. And the question that arises, at least for me, is where is accountability? How do we get accountability into the system? If we look at our national teams, our men's national team had a easy group in the joint FIFA World Cup qualifiers as well as Asian Cup qualifiers. Needed to finish second, would have created history by reaching the third round of the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. We didn't achieve it. Our India under-20s, easy group. It was a matter of goal difference. Won 2 games, lost the key one, eliminated. That has been replicated this weekend. India won 13-0 against Brunei, 1-0 against Turkmenistan, but lost on Sunday 3-2 against Thailand after actually leading 2-1. And because of not scoring enough goals against Turkmenistan, because it was the top 3 which came into the equation, our Indian under-17s are eliminated from the qualifiers. We had been qualifying for 4 times in a row, so that also breaks quite a successful streak. Then we come to the India women's national team. They played on Sunday in a very, very controversial semi-final against hosts Nepal. That's another story for another day, I would rather say. But the question is that Indian women's national team, senior and juniors, who dominated South Asian football for decades, are now not only struggling, but they're losing to opponents. Bangladesh seems to be much, much better than us. Nepal is suddenly fighting with us. How can that be? And then on Saturday, we saw East Bengal Football Club, 6 losses in the ISL at the start of the season, 8 in total, taking on hosts Paro FC in Bhutan in the AFC Challenge League. And even that, in the end, a 2-2, that was difficult to watch. And it just sums up where Indian football sadly stands at international level. Our national teams, where we're seeing some sort of progress over the years, what has happened over the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years? The men's, I would say, the last 3 years, 4 years, we can talk about it. With the women's, massive downfall since hosting the 2022 AFC Asian Cup for women's. The juniors, again, congrats to Ishfaq to getting such results out of these boys, but I've seen better talent over the years. The under-20s have been struggling anyway. Where are our under-23s? There needs to be these questions asked. Where is the accountability within the All India Football Federation, within the national teams department? Why isn't there any sort of communication on these matters where you say, you know what? Yeah, we've lost. And you then say, there are reasons for it. You cannot sugarcoat. Because the blame cannot only be on the AIFF. Yes, the AIFF takes a certain level of blames also in the appointments of the national team coaches. But also the clubs, the academies need to take a certain percentage of the blame because they produce the players. If the AIFF are forced in the situation of having to produce their own players, then what's the use of the clubs and the academies? That question also needs to be asked. So the system, the stakeholders, as I always like to say, all of them need to ask themselves, need to ask the question of accountability. What am I doing? If I look back at the last 25, 26 years that I have been following Indian football, who have been our biggest names? Sunil Chhetri, Baichung Bhutia, I am Vijan, God-gifted talent. Different kettle of fish. Baichung and Sunil got to the levels that they got to because of hard work and dedication. So it's not only on them, it's also on the players and the coaches, the whole pyramid. And this is the problem. Everybody has his or her role to play for the success of Indian football. But the AIFF needs to create the framework, needs to create that foundation for all of this to come together for Indian football to be more successful. If we are not careful, I know a lot of fans say, hey, let's leave SAF, let's go to CAFA, let's go to ASEAN, let's go somewhere else. Now the question is, are the days actually over where we used to dominate SAF, where we regularly used to win and beating us was a massive, massive upset? These are the questions that we need to be asked. And the question is, who all are accountable for these ongoing failures of Indian teams, be it clubs, be it national teams? I know this has been a disappointing weekend. I would love to have talked about something else, about, our women's winning, our Indian under-17s qualifying for the AFC Asian Cup, East Bengal winning their opener in the AFC Challenge League. All of that hasn't happened. For the women and for the Indian under-17s, it's over. For East Bengal, it isn't. So therefore, I hope Oscar Bruzon can get something out next week. Who knows? Maybe next week is the start of something better. As always, let me know what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree with me? Write them down in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. Arunfoot here on YouTube. On my other social medias, visit arunfoot.com. And yes, despite being a tough weekend, I'll be back next week and in the future. This is Arunava Chaudhuri signing off. Bye.